Like all totalitarian movements, they hate the world as it actually is, and they want to remake the world in their own image and likeness. Okay, and so this is where the
닥터 제니퍼 모스는 2018년에 출간된 섹슈얼 스테이트의 저자입니다. 1960년대 이전부터 시작된 성혁명은 단지 성에 관한 것이 아니라 역사와 전인류에 대한 특정 세력의 위협이며 공격이라는 것을 세세하고 일목요연하게 설명해주는 책입니다.
Students of totalitarian movements will tell you that they all want to change human nature. So whether it's communism or fascism or, now the sexual revolution, there's always some aspect of human nature that they need to change in order to do the dream. Okay. In my opinion, gay marriage was never really about gay people. It was never really about marriage. Transgenderism is a direct result of gay marriage.
구독과 좋아요, 알람 설정 눌러주시면 큰 힘이 됩니다.
All of that money, all of those relationships, all of the establishment within the media, all of that artillery just was rotated a few degrees, boom, onto the transgender question.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas. That's a great question.
So insulting to our intelligence. They do something that's obvious and we say, that's crazy. Why would you do that? And they say, well, you're crazy for thinking that there's a cover-up.
It's called gaslighting.
It's called gaslighting.
And it's very common, the propaganda. The propaganda that we are subjected to is simply endless. And again, COVID made that very clear. I think in retrospect, at the beginning, people were like, oh, maybe this is a thing, and they took it seriously, did what they were told. But as the thing unfolded, it became clear that we were being manipulated, right?
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish fake stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I mean, think of it. There are literally thousands of legitimate news stories that could be reported in a given day, and an infinite number of ways to report them. When everybody's on the same page, it might be the result of an organized campaign.
There are a group of people who have an agenda, and they have enough power in their sphere of influence to push the system in a particular direction. And it's very hard for anybody to resist what they just did because you can't even figure out what they just did. If you look at it, communism and the sexual revolution and fascism and COVIDism, they all have the same structure. The intellectual structure is this: fantasy ideology. Doesn't matter what the dream world is going to look like. Okay, that's a distraction. So you have this dream, you have this fantasy that you want to have happen. It can't happen, but in order to make it look like it's happening, you need a lot of power, you need a lot of propaganda, and you need a scapegoat.
We have the means to improve the state of the world. We need collaborative efforts. We need collaborative efforts.
these crises is injected as sense of renewal. A sense of community, a sense of a new kind of world that we want to create. A new kind of world that we want to create. A new kind of world that we want to create.
Very mild pandemics.
Preparing for the next pandemic. Preparing for the next pandemic.
These huge health inequity issues. These huge health inequity issues.
Pfizer will provide all. Pfizer will provide all its patented medicines and vaccines on a non-for-profit basis to 1.2 billion people living in 45 lower-income countries.
So you have this dream, you have this fantasy that you want to have happen,